Here in Ithaca. I'm the president of Toxics Targeting, and I've been involved with political activism for 40 years. I ran the Toxics Project at New York Public Interest Research Group for 12 years. I actually passed legislation. I actually dealt with the regulatory authorities, including Governor Mario Cuomo. And so I've known most of the people that have run the Andrew Cuomo administration because they're basically retreads from an earlier age. And many of you have helped me very, very effectively prohibit shale fracking in New York. And that's just a monumental achievement. So I'm here today because we've been fighting pipelines. Our theory is that if we can block new fossil fuel infrastructure, then we can ultimately reduce the use of fossil fuels that contribute to global climate change and that cause pollution problems all across the state of New York. So up until about a month ago, we were batting 1,000. We had killed $4 billion worth of pipelines in New York, including the Constitution in a head-to-head kill, and then the Northeast Energy Direct pipeline just fell apart. Okay, so now we've been working on the Dominion Newmarket pipeline. It's a 200-mile pipeline. It's a $159 million project that would involve expanding an existing pipeline. This is a classic transmission pipeline project, has no benefit whatsoever for New York. It's designed to get frack gas from Pennsylvania to markets in New England that don't have enough natural gas. So until a month ago, this project had not been authorized to proceed. And then Andrew Cuomo changed that when on the last day of December, he granted 3 critical air discharge permits that allowed the project to go forward. It had already received what's called conditional approval from the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. So we were in despair. We were fighting to get the authorization for Dominion Newmarket rescinded. That's very hard. However, we have now found out that Dominion needs variances related to protecting wetlands and waterways, and it's entirely possible we can get a key regulatory approval revoked, and that's called, believe it or not, the Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan. So the reason this is very important is because the Borger compressor station in Ellis Hollow had a bad toxic problem that no one knew about until I came along and documented it. So essentially, there are a whole variety of historic dumping problems that were never cleaned up to the applicable state standards. And they threaten protected wetlands that drain into Cascadilla Creek, which drains into Cayuga Lake. And Cayuga Lake, as you may know, we've been fighting for 18 years. It's on the National 303D listing of impaired water bodies. And we finally have beaten Cornell, and we're now requiring what's called a total maximum daily load comprehensive cleanup. So it's very important that these wetlands that drain into a key tributary be protected. The problem is that New York State did not require all this pollution to be cleaned up. So along comes Dominion, and they identified this limit of disturbance for their expansion project in Ellis Hollow. And so, believe it or not, they didn't identify a whole array of the protected wetlands that are actually delineated by state authorities. In other words, they are SIP, Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan. It's a total piece of crap. And if we can get this revoked, then the variances can be blocked. No variances, no Newmarket. So this is our classic little situation where we know what the regulatory requirements are, and now we know who the targets are. It's this woman, Kimberly Bowes, at Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. And all we have to do is make her realize, and you can see it for yourself, those wetlands were never identified by Dominion. It's just black and white. It's regulatory noncompliance on a shocking level. Not that I'm besmirching the name of my esteemed client that did the work. So this is a matter of just making the authorities clean up the problems that are required by law to be remediated. And if we can do this, unfortunately, in only the next 2 days, we might be able to prevent Newmarket from going forward. So many of you have been very, very actively involved in my campaign. If you haven't, go to toxicstargeting.com, click on Marcella Shale in the lower right-hand corner, and sign one of the coalition letters. And then you can be in constant communication with our campaign. We're not like any other campaign. We actually require people to work. You have to call, you have to be knowledgeable about the issues, you have to show up, and that's how come we're effective. That's how come we blocked shale fracking in New York. It wasn't because people had religious fervor and were bold enough to say they wanted the ban. It's because we had a very sophisticated plan to prevent it from being approved for 7 years, and we're batting 1,000 on shale fracking. We were batting 1,000 on infrastructure. Now we got to really focus, we got to double down. We are also asking that the governor revoke this state pollution prevention plan, and he has authority to do that. So we've been deluging the governor for the last couple of weeks with phone calls. We've tied his switchboard into the Gordian knot, and we're going to do more of the same. We've written him more than 500 personalized letters. It works like a charm if I can get more press coverage, and that's what I'm going to try to do, good Lord willing, for tomorrow. So thank you for all your help, and if you have any quick questions, I'll try to answer them.
Is the information of where to write, the address, who to write, and what to say on that website?
I see you're not on my list. No, I'm kidding. Yes, my alerts are super detailed, and I tell you exactly what to say, exactly who to call, and I tell you how to do it. Like the key thing with the governor, you just don't want to call and give him your zip code and hang up, right? A lot of advocates out of Cooperstown are saying, just call, tell him your zip code. That's just stupid, right? We want to tie the switchboard into the Gordian knot. So I always tell people, make good arguments. In order to make good arguments, you have to read the alerts. You have to understand the substance. And so when you call Kimberly Bowes, good Lord willing, tomorrow and Tuesday, like don't wait, because the response time was February 7th, that's Tuesday. So we have one big day, maybe tomorrow. So you got to know what the issues are. You got to know what a SIP is. You got to read the data. You have to be able to refer to the inadequacies, right? And then that would just shock them. I mean, it would just blow their minds if someone who actually knows what they're talking about is calling in a very, very sophisticated way. So yes, my alerts are excruciatingly detailed. It's not just, we don't want fracking, right? I'm the exact opposite. I cite the law, tell you what to say, tell you who to call, and I tell you, don't stop until you try. So the person is Governor Cuomo's number 518-474-8390. Tell him Walter sent you. Kimberly D. Bowes, 202-502-8400. The acting chairman of FERC is actually a woman, Cheryl A. Lafleur, 202-502-8961. And get the alerts. The alerts will be posted, but hopefully you'll sign up for one of the little coalition letters, and then you'll be in constant communication. And then, you know, you can actually help address these problems. And this is a real whopper. I mean, when you look at Borger, it drains right into Cascadilla Creek. If you type in that address at Toxics Targeting's Internet Map Server application, on the bottom you can see a bird's eye view delineation of that area, and you'll see the area next to Cascadilla Creek. It used to be a huge industrial junkyard. And so professors at Cornell were writing me for years that they could see this junk in Cascadilla Creek going down the gorge on the Cornell campus, usually when they were playing tennis in Cascadilla Gorge. And they always want to know, where's this crap coming from? It's like, well, how do I know? You know, you want me to walk that one too? So now we probably know. So this is yet another problem that has never been cleaned up. And if we can find enough toxic problems in New York that haven't been properly investigated, remediated, in strict compliance with the law, we're going to beat the governor like a gong, and this will prevent him from continuing to approve these ridiculous fossil fuel projects that have created pollution problems from one end of New York State to the other. Any other questions? Thank you so much. Go hard.
Thank you.